BloodClan isn't one of the clans that you can find in the Allegiances of a Warrior Cats book. The clan, in fact, only appears in one main series book, 4 graphic novels, and 2 super editions. But despite being in only a few books, BloodClan has made a huge impact on Warrior Cats and its fandom, from AJ roleplayers using spike collars, to even people outside of the fandom knowing Scourge's name. So let's call out the truth about the most violent clan in Warrior Cats. Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats content so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't have gone here without y'all. Let's start off with the origins of BloodClan. BloodClan was founded by Scourge, who started off life as a kitty pet known as Tiny. Tiny was the son of Nutmeg and Jake. Jake was a kitty pet / loner who hung out with the clan cats. He was even mates with Talltail, who would later become the leader of WinClan for a short while. It's no surprise that 3 of his spawn, Scourge, Firestar, and Princess, would later become fascinated with the clans. A fun fact about Jake that I'm just going to throw in here is that it is canon that he was killed off by getting a meteor to the head. Yikes. What's with Xenofiction series and killing off characters by using meteors? It's happened in Warriors, Wings of Fire, and the Laskyverse. Anyways, Tiny had 2 littermates, Ruby and Socks. Neither of them liked him very much, and they made that well known. They bullied him for being the runt of the litter, and said that no 2 legs would take him, and he would be drowned in the river. Wanting to prove himself, Tiny ran away from home and into the forest to seek out the dangerous wildcats rumored to live there, and he did stumble into them. Unfortunately, he didn't stumble into a friend like his half-brother Rusty would later do. He found an enemy. At the same point that Tiny had entered the forest, a patrol containing Thistleclaw, Tigerpaw, and Bluestar were going around, and they saw him. Thistleclaw was angry that any cat, no matter how small or young, was trespassing on ThunderClan territory. Thistleclaw ordered Tigerpaw to attack Tiny, and he did so. Tigerpaw was very violent. He would have killed Tiny if Bluestar hadn't stepped in. She told Thistleclaw off for his actions and told him to spare the kit. Tiny ran away. He decided to not go back home, and instead wanted to live as a loner in the 2-leg place. He tried to remove his collar by using a dog tooth, but was unsuccessful, and only got the dog tooth stuck to his collar. Some cats saw him with the dog tooth in his collar and asked what happened. He lied, and he said he got from defeating a dog in a fight. The cats asked if he could fight off a dog for them. He agreed to, afraid that he would be caught in his lie. However, he was fortunate, and the dog ended up being very old, and he chased it off easily. Tiny earned the respect of the 2-leg place cats. He decided to rename himself Scourge, and to assemble these cats into a clan, just like how the forest cats were assembled. This clan would teach the cats at a 2-leg place the same lesson that he had learned. In this cruel world, there is no room for weakness. Under Scourge, BloodClan was messy and brutal. There were no formidable patrols or anything else that made up a clan in the forest. Instead, every cat was left to fend for themselves, survival of the fittest. That applied to the youngest and oldest cats in the clan too. Kits relied on their mother for food, shelter, and training. Once the cats were of 10 or so moons, they were forced to leave their mother and try and survive on their own. Though Scourge wasn't involved in day-to-day management of the clan, he was still that cat to go to if you ever had any issues, or if you were from another group and wanted a treaty alliance or a territory reallotment. The cats of BloodClan wore dog and cat teeth in their collars as trophies and a show of their skill and strength. Some cats also lined their claws with dog teeth in order to make them sharper and more damaging in battle. BloodClan's territory was the 2-leg place, known to the 2-legs themselves as Chelford. There was no set camp, though there were places where the clan gathered to listen to Scourge. Cats usually sheltered in cardboard boxes, dumpsters, and abandoned buildings. The 2-leg place was a very harsh place to live. The cats of BloodClan relied on scraps from 2-legs in order to survive. Fights were common over food. It is no surprise that Scourge decided to try and conquer the forest with such instability. Now that we've gone over the basics of BloodClan, let's dive into their complete history. The first iteration of BloodClan was founded by Scourge. He was a cold-hearted cat, turned cold by the cruelty of his own littermates. When those littermates came running back to him after he founded BloodClan, he banished them, never forgetting the past. Another part of his past that returned to him was Tigerpaw, who had grown into the treasonous Tiger Star, leader of ShadowClan. He had been the one who had shown him that violence was the only way forward. And now he'd returned back to him, blind to their connection, wanting to team up in order to take over the forest. Scourge agreed to his proposal. During a gathering, Tigerstar brought out BloodClan and threatened the forest cats with them. Scourge coolly reminded Tigerstar that these were his cats to command. Firestar, who was Scourge's half-brother unbeknownst to him, told Scourge of Tigerstar's crimes, about how he was a liar and he would not give Scourge his portion of the forest, even if he fought for him. Scourge thanked Firestar for the information, and promised to consider it. Tigerstar called Scourge a traitor and then tried to attack him, but Scourge ducked. He stuck up his claws, which were reinforced with dog's teeth, and sunk them into Tigerstar's flesh. He punctured many of his vital organs. Tigerstar twitched and squirmed as he burnt through all of his 9 lives. His wounds were too severe for StarClan to revive him, and he passed away. Scourge turned to the rest of the clan cats. He gave them an ultimatum: leave or suffer the same fate. The clan cats chose to fight him. They united into one clan, Lion Clan, and showed up in full force to confront BloodClan. Scourge killed Firestar, believing that once he was dead, Lion Clan would be easy to get rid of. He was shocked when Firestar got up again, not knowing that leaders had 9 lives, and Firestar killed Scourge. Though Scourge was gone, his genetics were not. They were passed down in Firestar, his killer and half-brother's own family. Firestar's daughter, Squirrelflight, had the same single white foot as Scourge had. BloodClan was also not gone. Their leader, Scourge, was dead. His deputy, Bone, had been killed by 4 apprentices. There was no real chain of command to turn to beyond them, so there was a scramble for power. There were a lot of leaders in quick succession, but eventually Fury took over. Fury had become leader after taking the previous leader, Claw, out hunting. She claimed that Claw had been killed by dogs on the hunt, but Fury had blood on her claws. It was obvious that she was the one who'd killed Claw. Fury was a heavily scarred she-cat, showing how dedicated she was to violence. She was dedicated to fulfilling the vision of Scourge and taking over the forest. She waited until the perfect moment to strike. She sent out cats to scout the clan's territories, looking for any weaknesses. When Firestar and Sandstorm left ThunderClan to go and found SkyClan, she found the perfect opening. She ambushed a patrol of ThunderClan cats and warned them that there would be reprisals if they did not give up their land. Then she attacked ThunderClan camp. She witnessed a pregnant cat, Gremlin, try and sneak away from the battle. She ordered Gremlin to be killed, but Gremlin was able to escape her fate. Her brother was not so lucky though. Greystripe fought Fury to the point where she was bleeding out. He made an agreement with her. Cinderpelt would heal her, but in return, she would have to give up her ambitions of conquering the forest. Though reluctant, Fury agreed, wanting to save her own life. The next leader of BloodClan, or leaders, after Fury were Snake and Ice. They had been close to Fury, and so they took over when she decided to leave. Snake and Ice were the siblings to Violet and Smudge, 2 cats who had chosen to leave BloodClan, and were almost killed by Snake and Ice because of that. Snake and Ice's followers tried to take over the barn where Smudge and Ravenpaw stayed. When they were confronted by a patrol of ThunderClan cats plus Barley, Ravenpaw, and Violet, they started a battle between what remained of BloodClan and ThunderClan. However, they were defeated and ran away. After BloodClan were chased from the forest again, Snake and Ice either left the clan or were kicked out. It's unclear what happened after this. BloodClan likely dissolved due to its lack of strong leadership, as Snake and Ice were barely clinging on to what Scourge had started. The 2 even changed their names back to the original ones, Hood and Jumper, showing that BloodClan was going out of style. Though Hood and Jumper's stories continue for a bit longer, BloodClan's story ends here. Though BloodClan is gone, they have somewhat of a successor clan, WarriorClan. WarriorClan, like BloodClan, was inspired by Tales of the Cats of the Forest. It is composed of kitty pets and former kitty pets just like BloodClan. However, WarriorClan is much softer than BloodClan was. For one, their leader is called Monkey Star, which isn't nearly as imposing a name as Scourge. Unlike BloodClan, WarriorClan wasn't founded for survival or control. It was founded for some kitty pets to have some fun. However, over time, it evolved to be a safe haven for cats who needed one, like Petunia, whose former 2-leg was a hoarder. With the popularity of BloodClan, I wouldn't be shocked if the Aarons decided to make WarriorClan more similar to it in some ways, like giving them the famous fanged collars. But that's just some wishful thinking. To me, it's a bit surprising just how popular BloodClan is in the fandom, despite not being included in very many books. But what's your opinion on BloodClan? Are they overrated or are they hyped just enough? And most importantly, do you think BloodClan has a chance of returning? Comment down below. If you liked this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats videos pretty often, and your support means a lot to me. And to those who are already subscribed, thank you so much for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Peace, Rogan out.